Welcome, everybody. It is so good to see you in this amazing 3-day challenge. This is all about helping you to understand and tame your inner critic and bring kindness to yourself for a happier and healthier life. My name is Melike Hussein. I'm the founder of BreathZone. I'm a certified mindfulness teacher, conscious breathing coach, and a qualified nurse. I bring science and medicine into natural health. And I am not a stranger to inner critic. Prior to my holistic health journey, I worked in finance for 15 years. And during that time, inner critic was my daily constant companion, telling me the mistakes that I have done and I was never good enough. And one morning I woke up to find myself burnt out. I lost my ability to speak. I lost my ability to move, albeit temporarily. I am sure that inner critic wasn't the only reason that I burnt out, but now I know that our inner critic, the way that we talk to ourselves and the acts that we have, trigger our fight or flight response in the way that an actual physical danger would. It creates stress and anxiety in our body. It is definitely a companion that we don't want for the sake of our health and well-being and to have a healthier, joyous life. Oftentimes we think of our inner critic as a way to motivate ourselves, believing that fear is a good motivator. And most of us at one time or more believe in our inner critic. We allow it to stop us from grabbing new opportunities for the fear of being not good enough or feeling down on ourselves, thinking we are inferior to others around us because we are not perfect. In these instances, by engaging and reasoning with our inner critic, we validate it, we give it energy and power over us. But there's a much better alternative in how we relate to ourselves, how we boost our motivation, and it is through self-kindness. And this 3-day challenge is designed to help you start make this change, tame your inner critic, and boost your life with self-kindness. So, over 3 days, we will briefly learn the science behind inner critic and self-kindness, as well as practicing together mindfulness and breathwork techniques that will help you to change your relationship with your inner critic and bring kindness that you so freely give to others, to yourself too. Today, we will briefly look at what is our inner critic, because it serves a purpose and it is not all that bad. And then we will learn a breathwork practice to calm the mind very quickly, and a meditation practice to help us understand what is being said by inner critic, because the first step in taming our inner critic is to be able to listen to it, understand what it is saying to us. Tomorrow, in our second day, we will discover how to start reducing the power of inner critic over us. And then once again, we will learn 2 practices, a breathwork practice to cultivate calm presence and a meditation practice to shift the focus from our mind to our body. On the third day, we will discover how to bring self-kindness into our lives. And we will learn 2 practices, a breathwork practice to help us open our heart space and a kindness to self meditation. So over 3 days, we are going to learn 6 new practices. These are practical techniques that you can bring into your daily life. It's going to be wonderful. And I selected every single one of them carefully just for this purpose. So, inner critic. We all have an inner critic. This is the voice in our head that tells us we are not good enough or what we have done badly. If you heard something like this from your mind, trust me, you're not alone. But why we have it? Because we all have a natural inbuilt negativity bias, which is simply a mental pattern of focusing on and instantly memorizing the negative experiences over the positive ones. Negativity bias is the result of millions of years of evolution and serves a very important purpose of keeping us alive and safe from the danger. It is simply our brain hardwired to be on the lookout for and instantly remembering a danger or bad experience so that we can be ready to deal with it if it comes up again. But in our modern lives, the danger of physical threat is hugely diminished. However, our negativity bias, and more importantly, our inner critic, remains very strong. And it affects how we feel about ourselves, our goals, and our effectiveness in life and work. So, what can we do about it? The good news is our brain is plastic, it can be rewired. Just like in our negativity bias, which is a Velcro for difficult negative experiences and Teflon for good experiences that never sticks, we can change this dynamic. And science has proven that we can rewire negativity bias, we can rewire inner critic with self-kindness. And we are going to learn some practices to help support that and start this process for you. So the first one that I want to share with you is breathing. In our today's first step, it is all about getting to know the inner critic and turning towards it without any judgment, with kindness, with compassion. And to do that, the first step would be having a calming, relaxing breathing practices. Why? Because whenever there's something that triggers that inner critic, you may start to feel agitated, stressed, and in those moments, perhaps you're losing the ability to think rationally, you're getting emotional. When you are getting emotional, it's difficult to try to observe the inner critic from a distance without a judgment. We become emotionally invested in it. So before doing any meditation or any other practice, the first step would be starting to breathe in certain ways, just enough to calm our nervous system down so that we can observe our inner critic and understand what it is saying without any judgment. And this is the best practice that I can share with you today. Coherent breathing is going to be very, very simple. We will be gently slowing down our breath to 6 breaths per minute. We will be inhaling and exhaling in equal lengths for 5 seconds each. And studies has shown that this particular pace breathing creates a resonance between the working of our mind, our heart rate, and our breathing rate. So it really creates a beautifully balanced nervous system. So this is a wonderful practice to learn and incorporate into their lives. So I will guide you to start with, and then at some point during the practice, I will ask you to pace your own breathing by mentally, silently counting your breathing. One more element to our breathing pattern here. We will be inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth with pursed lips. So with pursed lips, imagine that you have a very hot ring in front of you and you're simply blowing the air just to cool it down. If you're ready, let's find a comfortable position. You can have a seated position or you can lie down. And when you're ready, close your eyes or drop your gaze on the floor in front of you. Softly dropping your gaze. Let's take a few seconds to allow your body to relax. Notice the weight of your body. Notice the gentle pull of gravity. Feel the sense of touch where your body is connecting to the seat below you or the ground underneath. Notice any pockets of tension in your body and allow your body to relax, soften, and let go. Let go of any tension. And for now, simply turn your attention to your breathing, gently observing it. Observe your inhale, observe your exhale. Notice your breathing. In, out, in, out. There's no need to change your breathing in any way. Simply let it flow for now. In a short while, I will guide your breathing. Remember to breathe in through the nose for the count of 5. And breathe out through the mouth with pursed lips for the count of 5. On my count and with me. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and continue to inhale through the nose for the count of 5. Exhale through the mouth with pursed lips for the count of 5. And if you notice your breathing doesn't stretch for 5 seconds, breathe as you can and pause your breath until the next inhale or exhale. So we are working with the breath that we have in a kind, gentle way. Allow your breath to flow. Inhaling through the nose for the count of 5. Exhaling through the mouth with pursed lips for the count of 5. You are setting the pace. And with each breath, you are allowing your nervous system to find balance, creating a calm, relaxed headspace. You're in charge. Wonderful. And when you finish the last exhale, allow your breath to come back to its natural, everyday rhythm. There's no more need to count your breathing. Let your natural breath to flow. In, out, in, out. And as you're allowing your breath to settle down, notice how you're feeling right now. Perhaps calm, grounded, feeling spacious in mind. And let's start to move our fingers and toes as we are ending the practice. And open your eyes when you're feeling ready. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed it. This is a practice that you can do for 5 minutes like we have done now, or a couple of minutes throughout the day whenever you need it. Next, we have a meditation practice. Our focus here is to understand and relate to our inner critic without judgment. This is the first step to understand what it is that's telling us. Once again, you can practice in a seated position or lying down with your back straight. So if you're ready, let's start. As you're settling in, once again, I invite you to close your eyes or softly drop your gaze on the floor in front of you, as you prefer. And let's take a few moments to tune into your body. Just notice and allow your shoulders to drop. noticing your face muscles and allowing them to soften and let go of any tension. Now let's relax into your natural breathing and become aware of each inhale and each exhale without trying to change them in any way. Continue to breathe naturally and let it flow effortlessly. And as you do, you may be noticing your inner critic rearing its head, saying, "This should be easy. I should be doing this more. My mind is distracted. I don't want to do this," or "I am sure I'm doing this wrong." Whatever you're hearing right now, it is okay. I invite you to notice these thoughts that are going through your mind, and as best as you can, try to notice and observe them as if you're watching the clouds from a long distance. Let these thoughts be the clouds moving across your mind sky. Observe them and let them come and go without engaging with them. And now, as best as you can, label each of those thoughts, such as, "This is a judgment. This is a self doubt. This is fear." Label them. Next, let's turn your attention to your body and notice, where do you feel these thoughts? And how do you feel them in your body? Perhaps it's a churning feeling in your stomach, a sense of pressure in your chest, tightness in your shoulders. Simply allow yourself to notice these thoughts and how they are echoing through your body as sensations. There is no judgment. There are no rights or wrongs. Simply allow yourself to notice these sensations in your body. With each inhale, notice these thoughts and sensations as they are. You're not fighting them, you're not trying to change them, you're not commenting on them. You're simply noticing them as they are. With each exhale, wish yourself what you would do to a close friend with the same thoughts. Perhaps you wish patience, joy, humor, or something else that feels appropriate. With each inhale, notice thoughts and sensations as they are. With each exhale, you wish yourself well. You wish yourself well because you deserve it as much as anyone else. For a few more moments, allow yourself to watch these thoughts and sensations just like you're watching clouds. And on exhales, wish yourself well. Nearly there. And now let's bring your attention back to your breathing. Allow your body to relax once again. Allow your breath to flow in and out naturally. As we are coming to the end of the practice, let's start to move your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Welcome back. I hope you really enjoy this practice. It's one of my favorite practices. It really gives us a space to notice our inner critic, what it is saying to us, and how do we feel those in our body. Because those thoughts, those emotions have physical impact. It affects our body. So it's really great to notice not only these self-critical thoughts, but how they echo through our body. So what does it all mean now that we completed our first practice? Today we learn about our inner critic and how do we understand it? How do we turn towards it? We discussed that we have a breathwork practice called coherent breathing. This is wonderful in the time that we feel self-critic is raising its head and we start to get stressed, perhaps a little bit anxious about it. It gives us calm and grounding, a clear headspace to respond rather than react. We also learned a meditation practice that we turn towards the inner critic, understand what it is saying to us, and understand its impact on our body. On our daily basis, I really encourage you to use these practices repeatedly. Practice is the key. In terms of the breath work, ideally minimum once, or if you have time, you can practice twice or as often as you can. In terms of meditation, turning towards the inner critic, ideally at least once or as often as you need it. Remember, you can use these practices 5-6 minutes as we have done together, or you can do them simply for a few minutes each time. It really is up to you. So these are the practices until the next time, and these are my contact details. If you have any questions and queries, please always come back and ask me the questions. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'm looking forward to meeting you in our next session. Take care now. Bye-bye.